I'll just say a couple of things about Voices of People's History of the United States. The project really grew out of the experience of readers of Howard Zinn's People's History of the United States. That book, which was published in 1980, has had a very interesting history. Most books, particularly most books of history, have the life of selling fewer copies each year than the year before, and after a couple of years they end up out of print or on a remainder stack somewhere, or end up forgotten. But Howard Zinn's book has had the complete opposite trajectory. Each year the book sells more copies than the year before. And it's really transformed the way we teach history in this country. It's transformed the way we think about history. And it's spawned a whole series of other inquiries in film and music, in literature, into the hidden history of the United States, the history that we don't normally get in our public schools, that we don't normally read about and hear about in our mainstream media. And it's a testament to the teachers of this country, the underpaid, overworked, underappreciated, often maligned teachers in this country, who have been the kind of word of mouth and enthusiasts and organizers of the transformation of our curriculum through the use of Howard's book and similar books. For every copy that's been sold, and now 2 million copies have officially been sold of the People's History of the United States, there's many more that have been photocopied, passed around, dog-eared, marked up, handed out to students in photocopies, often by teachers who are forced to teach a different textbook, but who are going out of their way to introduce new ideas into the curriculum, something that's getting harder and harder to do as people are being forced to teach to test, and less creativity, less independence is being allowed for our public school teachers in the classroom. But one of the things that people experience reading People's History of the United States, certainly something I experienced when I first read it, is the eloquence of the voices that you encounter. Eugene Debs, Sojourner Truth, Frederick Douglass, voices that we don't necessarily encounter in our school textbooks. I know certainly growing up in Indiana, I had never read anything by Eugene Debs until I read People's History of the United States. And the eloquence and the power and the clarity of these voices of dissent and of rebellion and resistance in our history really shine through, but we only get little snippets of them. And so a number of people over the years have said to Howard Zinn that they wanted to know where he found those speeches, where they could read more. And he had long had the idea of putting together an anthology that would really highlight and feature those voices. And when I had the opportunity to work with Howard on that, of course, I jumped at it. It was a tremendous privilege to spend time working with him on this project. And as we started working on this project, we realized that as powerful as the words were on the page, they would have a much greater power if they could be read, if they could be brought to life by actors, by musicians, by activists. And so we took the occasion of the 1 millionth copy of A People's History of the United States being sold as we were editing Voices of a People's History of the United States to perform, to have an event of performances in New York City with James Earl Jones, Patti Smith, other actors and musicians reading from the early drafts of Voices of a People's History of the United States. And then when we launched the book, we launched it with a performance, and we've since been doing it around the country and hope that we'll be able to do it in more cities, schools, communities, neighborhoods around the country. And tonight, I hope you'll see the real power that these words have and the relevance they have for understanding, but also for changing our world today.